Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about soil microorganisms. Soil is the excellent culture media for the growth of bacteria, for the growth of various microorganisms. Soil microbiology is the study of microorganism present in the soil, their functions, and here we study how these microorganisms affect the soil property. Microorganism constitutes less than 0.5% weight by weight of soil mass. Even if they are present in such a low number, such a low amount, they still have a major impact on soil properties. About 60 to 80% of soil metabolism is due to the microorganism present in soil. These microorganisms, they determine the fertility of soil, and these microorganisms are of 5 types: bacteria, actinomycetes, fungi, algae and protozoa. We will be dealing with each type of microorganism in detail. Before we go in detail about each type of microorganism, we must know the role of these microorganisms in the soil. Number one, these soil microorganisms, they mainly involve in breakdown of organic matter. They contribute for the recycling of nutrients. They are responsible for creation of humus. They determine the soil structures. They are responsible for fixation of nitrogen. They promote the plant growth, and they have appreciable contribution in control of various plant diseases. Let's talk about the soil bacteria. Bacteria are very small. They cannot be seen with our naked eyes. We need to take aid of powerful light or electron microscope. They constitute the highest biomass of soil organism. They are mainly present near the root of plants because the excretion from the root is the main food resource for the bacteria. Actually, there are many types of bacteria present in the soil, but here we will focus only about the bacteria which are important from agriculture point of view. Number one, nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria, they form symbiotic association with the roots. Here the visible nodules are formed, and these bacteria are present in this nodule. The plant supplies simple carbon compound to this bacteria, whereas these bacteria, they convert atmospheric nitrogen ammonia into ammonium ion, and this is the form which can be utilized by the host cell. Second type of bacteria is nitrifying bacteria. As, as I mentioned in my previous slide, atmospheric nitrogen get converted into ammonium. Now these nitrifying bacteria, they convert ammonium into nitrate form, which is a preferred form of nitrogen for many of the crops. Next is denitrifying bacteria. They are mainly anaerobes, and they convert this nitrate into nitrogen. Thus, the 3 types of bacteria as we have seen: nitrogen fixing bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, denitrifying bacteria. They play important role in nitrogen cycle. Bacteria plays important role in carbon cycle also by the CO2 fixation, that is photosynthesis, as well as they contribute for the decomposition of many of the carbonaceous compound. Let's talk about the soil actinomycetes. What, first of all, what is actinomycetes? It is a large group of bacteria that grow as a hyphae like fungi. They show some properties which are similar to bacteria, and whereas some properties are similar to fungi. These actinomycetes are mainly responsible for characteristically earthy smell of freshly turned healthy soil. Means whenever the first rainfall occur, that time we get a very good smell from the soil, and that is known as the earthy smell, and that is because of actinomyces presence in the soil. These actinomyces, they can decompose a wide variety of substrates. Especially they are important in degradation of recalcitrant, means the compounds which are really difficult, very hard to get decomposed, such as chitin or cellulose, etc. Actinomyces, they can grow at alkaline pH, means their optimum pH is alkaline, and they are capable of producing number of antibiotics, like the well-known example is streptomycin. It is antibiotic which is produced by streptomyces. As we have seen that they mainly contribute by producing different types of antibiotics, they still have the negative impact. They can cause the various diseases also. Example is potato scab. Next is fungi. Fungi are constituted by microscopic cells, and they usually grow in the form of hyphae. They are dominant in the soil biomass, means they are present in large number. They are mainly obligate aerobes. They can survive in desiccation also. They mainly present in the acidic soil. They are responsible to cause various diseases to the plants. And from the beneficial point of view, if we look at the fungi, they are capable of producing the various types of antibiotic. Example is penicillin antibiotic, which is produced by penicillium. These fungi are helpful because they have ability to break down the nutrients, and the fungi releases this simple form of nutrients in the soil, and the other organism use it. They can attach themselves to the plant root, and this is the good relationship in between the fungi and plant root, and we call it as a mycorrhiza. Here the fungi help the plant by giving it to needed nutrients, whereas fungi get the food from the plant, the same food that plant gives to human. So this is the symbiotic relationship between fungi and plant. On the other hand, there are some example of fungi which can get the food by being a parasites, means they attack themselves to the plant or to other organism, but this is for the selfish reason only. The major role played by the fungi are they are decomposers, means we call it as a saprophytic fungi as they convert dead organic material into the fungus biomass and into carbon dioxide, as well as some different types of organic acids. These fungi generally use the complex substrates such as cellulose, lignin, which are present in the wood. In addition, they are capable of producing the secondary metabolites like organic acid, and thus they help to increase the accumulation of humic acid rich organic matter, that is resistance to degradation. and they may stay in the soil for hundreds of years. Next is protozoa. Protozoa are organisms which are present in the form of one cell. They are microscopic, but they are larger than the bacteria. They are grouped by the ways they move, like amoebae, they use the pseudopodia. Ciliates, they have the cilia, whereas flagellates, which has the flagella. So based on the way by which they move, the protozoa can be classified. The important is that the protozoa eat the bacteria. Protozoa help other organisms and plants by releasing the usable form of nitrogen into the soil. As they eat bacteria, protozoa release excess of nitrogen that can that can then be used by plants and other members of the food web. Means, as I said, that the protozoa eat bacteria, so bacteria, they are rich in nitrogen, so protozoa use the nitrogen presence in the bacteria, and the excess nitrogen is released, and that excess nitrogen can be used by the plant as well as other members of the food chain. Now the last microorganism, that is algae. They are divided into two groups, green algae and blue-green algae. All of these algae are autophototropics, means they can prepare their food. Now, the algae are capable of, some algae are capable of nitrogen fixation, and they play important role. They form the symbiotic association with fungus. They, like we call it as lichens. They are important in the early stages of pedogenesis, while azolas are important in the fertility management of the rice paddies. Means those algae which are capable of fixing the nitrogen, they form the symbiotic association. Thank you.